It was so fair, fair in the country. The sun joyfully was shining. Gold was the grain, the sweet fragrant hay lay gathered in stacks. In a green and quiet nook, deep in the reeds, a duck sat hatching her eggs. She was so weary, long hours she'd been sitting, yet on she sat unceasingly. All at once, with a crickle and a crack, one by one from the eggs, the ducklings cracked into the world. See the world, see the light, oh how great, oh how bright. The last duckling popped out, oh things so very ugly, no feathers on long skinny legs. Looks more like a turkey chick, said one duck as he stared in amazement. Then off they marched to the barnyard, and Mama Duck said, behave yourselves, my darlings, all the time. Always keep your feet very straight, she cautioned, and never fail to bow down low to that Spanish duck. He's old and famous, see the tape he's wearing. That's the highest honor any duck can ever get. The ducklings bowed respectfully to the Spanish duck. Then quickly they scattered, making friends with the animals living on the farm. Meanwhile, the poor ugly duckling was having an awful, awful hard time. He was mocked and laughed at. Everyone chased him all over. They even wished the big old tomcat would eat him all up. Roosters went peck, 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 peck. Ducks went flip, flip. People went kick, 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 kick. And a great big turkey puffed up like a sailboat in the wind, and he flew at the poor unhappy duckling. Oh, this was too much to bear. Gathering all his strength, he flew over the fence. Frightened by the duckling's sudden jump, the birds rushed away, all aflutter, and the duckling thought he'd scared the birds because he was ugly. He rolled his eyes in pain, and on he fled away, until he arrived at a marsh. There wild ducks attacked him with all their might. Ugly, you're ugly, the duckling whirled around bewildered as they quacked at him. Ugly, 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 he bowed to them so low, with shame and fright he touched the ground. Away, we don't want you, you don't belong to us. What, oh, what, oh, what could the poor duckling do now? autumn weather came, and his troubles grew still worse than they had been. There were times when he would sit for hours within the marshy reeds, all alone and abandoned, so scared that he trembled, while rifle shots roared over him. When the hunters hunted through the forest, sometimes the jaws of a dog gaped and stretched so very close that he wept. It froze the lake to solid ice. The duckling had to swim around to keep the water moving and not freeze. Much too sad, dear friend, to tell you everything the duckling had endured that cruel One day the sun began to shine much stronger and warm all the earth with golden sunshine. Suddenly all the birds sang, the trees burst in bloom. The spring had come. Flap, 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 the duckling flapped his wings with joy. Flap, 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 his wings had grown much stronger now. Happily he raised them high and flew over to a garden where the flowers bloomed. Their spring was lovely to see. Suddenly, from the reeds nearby, there appeared 3 swans of wondrous loveliness. Something drew the duckling to them, something strange and very strong that made him love them as he stood there. But his shyness made him afraid, for they would beat him, he thought, if he should approach, because he was ugly. Yet it was even better far to die than to go through the misery and suffering he'd gone through the winter before. Then end it all now, cried the ugly duckling, and lowered his head painfully, waiting for the blow to fall. But what did he see there in the clear water? It was his reflection. What he saw was not an ugly, ugly duckling, but a most lovely, beautiful swan. How unlucky he had been to be born in the nest of a duck when he was a swan. Now the sun caressed him with love, the lilac smiled at him now. The three swans all kissed him, he was their own. Never did he dream of such joy and peace when he was an ugly duckling